Shriram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
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 सियावर रामचंद्र की
जय.
श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की
जय.
ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः. ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः. ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. ओम श्री जानकी वल्लभो विजयते श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शंकरं लोकशंकरं समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं. नमः श्री तुलसीदास सद्वरिष्ठाय धीमते पूरितं हृदयं येन रामप्रेमामृतेन मे. नीलाम्बुजश्यामलकोमलाङ्गं सीतासमारोपितवामभागं पाणौ महासायकचारुचापं नमामि रामं रघुवंशनाथम्. अतुलितबलधामं हेमशैलाभदेहं धनुजवनकृशानुं ज्ञानिनामग्रगण्यं सकलगुणनिधानं वानराणामधीशं रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि. Bhagavan Shivji is answering Parvati ji's questions. First question he answered was how Nirguna becomes Saguna. How that Nirguna Brahman has taken this Saguna form of Bhagavan Sri Rama. How? And the second question that he is answering now is why. Why he has taken this form. So we saw there are various reasons that are given in Ramacharitamanas as the, purpose of Sri Rama avatar. Or rather than purpose, we will say why that avatar happened. Not that based on the purpose in the sense what he did. No, but one of the reasons why it might have happened. And we saw different stories. First was Jaya Vijaya Katha, where Jaya Vijaya got that curse. So they come as Ravana and Kumbakarna, and therefore Bhagavan Vishnu has to come as Sri Rama to release them from the curse. Second Katha we saw was of Kashyapa Prajapati and Aditi. They had prayed to Bhagavan saying that you should be born as our son. And therefore when they came as Dasharatha and Kaushalya, Bhagavan has to come. Second. Third Katha we saw was of one Asura named Jalandhara Asura, who became Ravana. And therefore to punish him, to teach him a lesson, Bhagavan had to come. And fourth Katha that we saw in the last session was Narada Moha Prasanga. Naradji cursed Bhagavan Vishnu that you will be born as a human being and you have to take help of monkeys. Okay, and you have to give up all your Aishwarya in Vaikuntha and come there. And because you did not allow me to marry that Vishwamohini, you also will be separated from your wife. Okay, all these reasons he cursed Naradji gave, Bhagavan had to come. Now two more reasons are given here. One is Manu and Shatarupa. That is one prasanga which comes here now, Ramacharitamanas. Shivji is explaining to Parvati ji. And one more will be main reason of Ravana that we will see. So Manu and Shatarupa, so as I was explaining to you in the last session, the concept of Kalpa, concept of Manvantara. Remember? One day of Brahmaji is called Kalpa. That one day of Brahmaji will have 1000 Chaturyugas. Those 1000 Chaturyugas are divided into 14 Manvantaras. So each Manu will have a time period that's called Manvantara, for which that Manu is the progenitor, is the beginner of the human race. And in that Manu's time, there will be an entire cabinet. There will be one Indra, Varuna, Vayu, Agni, all these devatas will be there. Different jivas will become all these, will take all these posts. So in one Manvantara, one cabinet. When the Manu changes, the cabinet also will change. Different person will become Indra. Different person means different jiva will take the post of Indra, different jiva will take the post of Varuna, Vayu, Agni, all the devatas, etc. Okay, so this is the concept. So we have 14 Manvantaras in one day of Brahmaji. The first Manu in those 14 is called Swayambhuva Manu. Now which one is going on? Vaivasvata Manvantare, you see? Now Vaivasvata Manvantara is going on, Vaivasvata Manu's time is going on. So 8th Manvantara. Okay. We will see the details of it in other Puranas, etc. also. But this story is of Swayambhuva Manu, the first Manu in the Kalpa. His wife is Shatarupa. And the Swayambhuva and Manu and Shatarupa are very famous in all the Puranas. Okay. They have two sons, Uttanapada and Priyavrata. Okay. And Uttanapada's son is Dhruva. The story will come. Dhruva, we all know. And then this Manu and Shatarupa, Swayambhuva Manu and Shatarupa have many daughters. They are all married to Kashyapa Prajapati. So Akuti, Devahuti, Prasuti, all these are different daughters of this. And one of them is Devahuti. Devahuti's son is Kapila Vasudeva. Bhagavan Vishnu's avatar as Kapila Muni, Sankhya Darshana Acharya, Kapila Muni. So his grandson from his son is Dhruva and grandson from his daughter is Kapila, okay? That is Swayambhuva Manu. Now the story goes that they lived a very long life in a very comfortable, luxurious way and they didn't want to go. But he is the Manu, he is writing Manu Smriti. He is telling the rules that a person after living householder's life has to go to Vanaprastha, has to give up everything. So following that, towards the end, they also give up their luxurious, palatious life. He hands over the kingdom to the son and then he and his wife, they go to do tapasya in forest. And when they do Ghora Tapas, they do, and Bhagavan appears, Bhagavan Vishnu appears in front of them, and very beautiful Varnana is there in Ramacharitamanas, Doha number 146, if you see. Neela Saroruha, Neela Mani, Neela Neeradhara Sham, Lajahitana Shobha Nirakhi, Koti Koti Satakam. Guruji has taken this one line and has composed one song, if you have heard. Neela Saroruha, Neela Mani, Neela Neeradhara Sham, Sundara Komala Kantimaya, Ananda Ghana Shrirama. So Tulsidas Ji says, when they saw Bhagavan Vishnu appear in front of them, how was he looking? Neela Saroruha. He was looking like a Saroruha. Saroruha means lotus. Sarovara is pond. Saroruha, born from that pond. So Neela Saroruha is like blue lotus. Neela Mani, like a blue gem. Neela Neeradhara Sham. Neeradhara. Neera means water. Neeradhara means that which holds water, the clouds. Neela Neeradhara Sham. And his complexion was like that blue clouds, like that Sham. Okay. Now you see how so much can be said. What he wants to say is Bhagavan Vishnu's complexion is blue. But why are you giving so many? But it's there. What can we do? What? He looks like a blue lotus. He looks like blue gem and like a blue water bearing cloud. Why? Because each one of those have different qualities. Lotus is soft, isn't it? It's beautiful, of course, but it is soft and it is fragrant. Mani is shining, it is brilliant. Gem. And it is classy. Gem you won't find, lying down somewhere. No, it is a classy item. And cloud, apart from all the beauty and all, it is a giver of joy and hope to people. When people see blue clouds, they know that it is going to rain. That gives joy, that gives hope. So he says that Bhagavan is like that. Of course he is beautiful, of course he is soft, of course he is very attracting, but at the same time he is very brilliant, he is classy also, and he is the giver of joy and hope to people. That's why he says Neela Saroruha, Neela Mani, Neela Neeradhara Sham. Okay, that's what Bhagavan is. So when this Bhagavan appeared and he asked Manu, what do you want? Manu said, I don't want it. I had your darshan. You understand, that itself is a boon. What else do I want? Bhagavan said, no, but you have to ask something. Then he says, my position is like a person who is sitting under a wish fulfilling tree. Now, Guruji always says like this, that we always hear these stories that somebody did tapas and Bhagavan appeared there and asked, what do you want? And he often, in informal satsang, Guruji will say that suppose Bhagavan comes now in front of us and says, ask whatever you want. What will we ask? Give a thought. If really he appears in front of us, what will we ask? See, we know that he can give us everything. That's a very dangerous thing, because then you don't know exactly what to ask. When your parents ask you, or used to ask when you were children, that what do you want for your birthday? Though they are asking what do you want, you knew your parents' capacity. So you used to always ask little more than that capacity. Not a lot. You can't say that I want to become president of India. You would not ask that to your parents. But if you know that parents can give you this much, then you will ask little more. But when really somebody is there who can give you anything, what will we ask? No. Each person, what I am trying to say is, each person will have what is the deepest desire will come out. It's not about the magnitude of the wish. It's about the deepest desire. It can be foolish, but that's what will come out. Why? Because we can't really think that if everything can be given, what do we want? We can't think. Therefore, when Manu was asked like this, Manu said, I want a son like you. Now, there is lot of discussion on why Manu should have asked this. Okay? Why, Veji, it is a good thing. No, you see, he is a Manu. He is about to finish his life. Okay? We say in Vedanta that your wish should be that you should not be born again. Now he, by asking that I want a son like you, he is desiring another birth and desiring Bhagavan to come as his son. Why he must have asked this? Now many people have different views about this. Some say, the reason because his daughter Devahuti had Bhagavan as her son. He also wanted to experience what it is to have Bhagavan as son. Because if we see the story of Devahuti and Kapila Vasudeva in Bhagavatam also, it's such a wonderful story where the only time when the mother becomes the student and Kapila Vasudeva gives Upadesha to his own mother. What a wonderful thing it is. So maybe Manu wanted to experience what Devahuti has experienced. Maybe that is the reason. Maybe some people say that Manu is a kind of person, you will see in Manusmriti also if you read, that he is a people's person. He thinks about people. That's why he has created the rule book. His entire life is for that. So his thought was that I had to do so much of tapas to have darshan of Bhagavan. Now I should do something by which everybody should have darshan of Bhagavan without doing this much tapas. And therefore he asked, you come as our son. So that what will happen? That Bhagavan will be available for everybody. So maybe that is the reason. Some say actually it is not Manu's desire. Bhagavan wanted to come as his son. What can you do? And because Bhagavan Vishnu will not do anything straight, he made Manu ask so that he will say, yes, yes, okay, I will come. And then this is called getting invited. Not that anybody is inviting, he wanted. So he asked for it and he made sure that Manu asked, and then he will say, whatever may be the reason, Manu asked that I should have a son like you. Bhagavan Vishnu said, that is not possible. Huh? No, what I mean is, you cannot have son like me because there is nobody like me. So technically, having a son like me is not possible. What you can have is, you can have me. Arjuna also says, na tvat samaha, kaha adhika. He says in Gita that nobody like you in the whole world. How can there be somebody better than you? There is no question of that. So Bhagavan said that I can come as your son. Manu said, actually that is what I wanted to ask. But if I would have asked that straight, it would have looked like a, chota muh badi baat. Small mouth asking for such a big thing. I didn't want to do that. Therefore I said that I want to have a son like you. But that's what I actually wanted. Bhagavan said, Tatastu. Now Bhagavan, very beautiful. He turned to Shatarupa and said, you both did tapas, but only Manu has asked. What do you want? See, this is called compassionate Bhagavan. He didn't say, okay, I came here, you asked for it, now I am going. No. He said, you both did tapas. He has asked, now what do you want? And Shatarupa said, I completely agree with what my husband has asked. I don't have any other wish. In addition to you coming as our son, I want to have one more boon. What? When you come as our son, I want to have knowledge that you are God. I should not forget that you are God and start treating you like my child. Because then I will do avadnya, then I will do lot of disrespect. Because my son means I will get angry also, sometimes I will beat also. I should not forget that you are God. See what interesting thing they are asking. Arjuna, if you see in 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, after seeing the Vishwarupa, suddenly goes into depression. He says, you are this. And what was I treating you like all this while? From childhood, I was calling you by names, I was cracking jokes on you, I was making fun of you. Prasabham yaduktam. Isn't it? And calling you by singular name. Hey Krishna, hey Yadava, hey Sakha. I was calling you, I didn't understand you are this. And now I feel so stupid. Why I didn't have this knowledge? I thought you are my cousin, you are my best friend, I can do whatever I want. Now I know, yes you are my cousin, yes you are my friend, but you are Lord of the universe. So Arjuna realized it later. Shatarupa here is telling that when you come as our son, I want to have knowledge that you are God. So Bhagavan smiled and said, Tatastu. Then he looked at Manu again. Do you want to change? You asked for son. She said that you come as a son, but I should have knowledge. Manu said, I don't want to have knowledge. I don't want to know that you are God. Why? Then I won't be able to treat you properly. You should be treated like a son. That's what I am asking. Isn't it? I am asking you to come as my son. I want to see you as son, not as God. Quite opposite if you see. Generally, father would say that I should know. Mother would say that I want to forget. I just want to treat you like a son. Nah, here it is opposite. Why? Logic is, Manu, who will be born as Dasharatha, represents mind. And his three wives, mainly Kaushalya, to whom Shrirama is born, represent intellect, buddhi. Now, buddhi should have knowledge. Mind should not. Mind should love. Dasharatha is the mind that is under control of all the sense organs. No, other way. Mind that controls all the sense organs. So, Dasharatha represents mind, whereas Kaushalya represents buddhi, intellect. And therefore, buddhi is asking, I want to have knowledge. Mind is saying, I don't want to have knowledge, I just want to love. Which is perfectly fitting. And that's why here Manu has said, I don't want to know that you are God, but Shatarupa said, I want to know. And that is how the entire conversation takes place. And Bhagavan says, Tathastu, I will come. So that is another reason when Shatarupa and Manu are born as Kausalya and Dasharatha, Bhagavan comes as Shrirama. Okay, this is another reason that is given here by Tulsidas Ji from Doha number 141 to 152. This entire prasanga of Manu Shatarupa is explained. Now, Shivji has told all these reasons to Parvati Ji. Now we come back to Yajnavalkya Rishi telling it to Bharadwaja Muni. He says, I told you whatever Shivji told Parvati. He is the one narrating the story. Now he says, let me tell you one more reason. I will also add. So one more reason he gives now. So that entire story starts from Prathapabhanu's prasanga and then it goes into Ravana and why Ravana was born, etc. and his janma, his karya, etc. from Doha number 153 to Doha number 185. Quickly we will see the story. Okay, long story, we will make it into short. What is that? In Kaikeya Desha is present day Afghanistan. Okay, that was part of Bharatvarsha at that time. That is the place from where Kaikeyi also came. Okay, so Kaikeya Desha. In that Kaikeya Desha there was a king who was named Satyaketu. And that Satyaketu had two sons, Prathapabanu and Arimardana. Prathapabanu and Arimardana, two sons were there. After Satyaketu, Prathapabanu became king. And he was a very good king. He used to think about people, he used to have nice, rulership. Everything was good. There was only one desire in his mind, that he wanted to have complete power over everyone. He was a good ruler, but that desire was there that I want to become immortal and I need to have uncontrolled power, unlimited control over everyone. That's what I want. Hidden desire was there, but he had that desire. So this Prathapabanu once, he went for hunting in the forest and somehow he went deeper into the forest, behind some boar, and he was separated from his entire army, and suddenly he found himself in a small hut of a sadhu. The sadhu was actually not a real sadhu, okay? Climax I am telling you before. Not climax, the suspense I am telling you before. But he found that sadhu. This sadhu was actually a king who was defeated by Prathapabanu. Okay, and he was waiting to take his revenge. And then he saw in his hut suddenly Prathapabanu. He recognized Prathapabanu. Prathapabanu did not recognize because must have been beard and all these things have happened. So, and then he said, "Come, king, please sit." Prathapabanu said, "How does he know that I am king?" So he said, "No, I am not king." He told his own minister's name, saying that I am Dharmaruchi. Why? He wanted to be in disguise. So that sadhu smiled and said, I know who you are. You are Prathapabanu. Prathapabanu became impressed. So they started to have conversation. And this, he was a king only before that sadhu also. So he started telling few things about Prathapabanu, about his kingdom. Once you did like this, Prathapabanu became very, he said, wow, very good. I appreciate your wisdom. You know everything. So he really thought that this is really a far-sighted sadhu. He can see everything. And he started opening himself up and started telling that my desire is to have that control and what can be done by which I will have that unlimited power, unlimited control over everyone. This sadhu said you have to do two things. Number one, you have to win over Brahmanas because they will give you power. And second, you should not tell anybody about both of us. Okay? So, both of us meeting and whatever I have told, you should not tell anybody. He said, Prathapabanu said, yes, no problem. And he started thinking how to win over Brahmanas. So that pseudo sadhu said, you should call all of them for bhojana, for feast. Brahmana priyahi, bhojana priyahi brahmanaha. Brahmanas love eating. Okay, so you should call them for feast. If you make them happy, they will bless you. And to help you, what you should do is, I will take care of your entire arrangement. Cooking, everything I will take care. Don't worry. I will manage everything. You just call Brahmanas. Prathapabanu said, very good. I can win over Brahmanas, taking help of this sadhu. So he said, okay. He slept. Now Prathapabanu slept. Now this pseudo sadhu was there. His one friend was a Mayavi. That Mayavi only had become bore and had lured this Prathapabanu into the deeper forest. Now taking help of this Mayavi, he sent Prathapabanu in sleep only back to his kingdom, in his palace, transferred. So when Prathapabanu got up, he was in his palace. He was like, my God, that sadhu must be very powerful. And he started working and he started asking, getting Brahmanas for that feast. And there in that pseudo sadhu, he started the plan. He arranged for the feast, etc. And Brahmanas came. And Brahmanas were about to eat. That time when Akashvani came, that, oh Brahmanas, do not eat this food. This food has got meat mixed in it. Now Brahmanas became very angry that you call us to your home and we are not supposed to eat non-veg and you are feeding us non-veg. So they cursed Prathapabanu that you will be born as Asura. Another Akashvani came. It is not Pratapbanu's mistake completely. Clarification. You have cursed, but it is not his mistake completely. He doesn't even know. So they said, okay, fine. Then they gave Ushshapa. Ushshapa means, I don't know in English what is it called. Shapa means curse. Ushshapa means some rectification? No. Some relief from the curse. And what was that? That was that Bhagavan himself will come to kill you. You will become Asura. That is, now we have said it, you will have to come. But Bhagavan himself will come to kill you so that you will get mukti. Bhagavan kills you means you are mukta. So Prathapabanu, felt dejected. He didn't even understand what happened. So this pseudo sadhu who was there, he took his original form of a king, attacked Prathapabanu because now Prathapabanu had no power. Brahmanas have cursed, no power. He defeated and he got his kingdom also. Along with his own kingdom, Pratapbanu's kingdom also came to this pseudo sadhu. And Prathapabanu had to come again as Ravana. His brother Arimardana had to come as Kumbakarna. And his minister Dharmaruchi, you remember there was a minister, that Dharmaruchi had to come as Vibhishana. So here Yajnavalkya Rishi explains that these three people were born as Ravana, Kumbakarna and Vibhishana. Now we come to the story of Ramayana. Okay, where the story starts with Ravana. In both, in Valmiki Ramayana also story starts with Ravana only. So these three, because he is elder to Shrirama, he is born before. So Ravana, Kumbakarna and Vibhishana, three brothers were there and they did tapas. Now they were very interesting because their father was a Brahmana, Rishi, right? And mother was a Rakshasi. Okay, so they were very interesting genetical beings. That one genes of very pure and very knowledgeable person and another of very wicked person. So those genes were combined together. So these three, they did lot of tapas. And how beautiful, you see, earlier also we had seen the concept of tapas. That tapas is not always done for spiritual reasons only. Tapas is common for everything. Whatever desire is there, for fulfillment you do tapas. And tapas, we said, is that focus to get that single pointedness towards your goal. Now, the purpose of tapas will determine purity of your heart. And the quality of tapas will determine the single pointedness of your heart. Earlier in Sadhana Panchakam, etc., we have seen that in order for us to get Atma Jnana, we need Chitta Shuddhi and Chitta Ekagrata. Correct? Purity of mind and clarity or the focus. Now what happened with these three, Ravana, Kumbakarna and Vibhishana, was all three of them had single pointedness. But purity was not same in the three. Purity was not same. So the difference that happened in their life and how they end is because of that purity difference. Focus was same. Therefore, all three of them did tapas. All three of them, had Brahmaji appearing there and fulfilling their boons. Everybody, all three of them. But what they asked as boon was different because of their purity. And then these three, Ravana, Kumbakarna and Vibhishana, they did tapas, and you must have seen in the serials, etc. No, Ravana was so strong, and then he is ready to move mountains also. That much strong he is, and when he does tapas also, that sound will reverberate as though the Brahmaji will feel threatened. And he was already so powerful. So Brahmaji appeared there and asked, "What do you want as boon?" Arrogance. Okay. Ravana, when you think of Ravana, one thing should come to your mind is arrogance. So Ravana said, Devatas, Yakshas, Kinnaras, Asuras, Rakshasas, nobody should be able to kill me. Okay, I should become invincible. Brahmaji said, Tatastu, before he changes his mind. Now what he did was, in his arrogance, he did not include Manushas. He did not include animals. Because he really thought, what can they do? I am so powerful. If Devatas, Yaksha, Kinnara and Gandharvas and Rakshasas, if they cannot do anything, what are Manushas going to do? Or even animals. But if we see his life later on, these Manushas and Vanaras have only troubled him. First Vali, who showed him his place. Vali was a monkey. And then later on Hanumanji, then Angad, and then finally Shriram. So, that arrogance made him to only think of the people whom he thought are worthy of his enemy. He did not even consider Manushas. But you see, Bhagavan is compassionate. He does not come only in the higher bodies. He comes in all forms. Therefore, Ravana, because of his arrogance, was destroyed. Not anybody else. His arrogance only destroyed himself. So, Ravana is living embodiment of Rajas. Rajas is impurity. Rajas is arrogance. Rajas is all kinds of negativities. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha. All these Shadripu, they are all part of Rajas. Then came Kumbakarna. Kumbakarna is embodiment of Tamas. So when Kumbakarna was asked by Brahmaji, what do you want? he said, for a long time I am doing tapas. I want to sleep. So I should be able to sleep for 6 months. Then I will wake up and one full day I want to eat. Just whatever I get, I just want to eat. And then again sleep for 6 months. So again, before he changes his mind, Brahmaji said, Tatastu. It is also a backstory. Some people also, they say that these devatas, they requested Saraswati Ji to reside on the tongue of Kumbakarna and make him ask this kind of boon. Okay? Because they knew, see, Ravana was a very scholaristic person who had arrogance. But he was not, what do you call as a, rowdy or a very, he was not very, that much powerful by body. He had so many astra shastra, etc. But Kumbakarna was huge. They said if he also becomes like Ravana, we will not be able to control him. So one Ravana is sufficient. We don't want, even bigger problem at our hand. Therefore, they requested Saraswati Ji to ask that. Whatever may be the reason, Kumbakarna asked for sleep, 6 months of sleep. Then Brahmaji turned to Vibhishana and said, what do you want? Vibhishana said, I want to have love for God. Hari Bhakti is what I ask. I don't want to become powerful, or I don't want to become king, or I don't want to become, immortal. Very interesting. Vibhishana did not want to become immortal, became immortal. Vibhishana is one of the Chiranjeevis, but he never wanted. That's the secret. One who doesn't want gets it. One who wants will not get it. Why? Because the want is so strong that they will often take unrighteous means to get that, and therefore such people will never get it. He never wanted kingdom, he got kingdom. After Ravana, Vibhishana only became the king, isn't it? Power is a very interesting thing. One who wants power, power becomes their enemy. One who doesn't want power, power automatically comes to them and becomes their best ally, becomes their best friend. So, very different. Ravana, Kumbakarna, Vibhishana. Vibhishana is Sattva, embodiment of Sattva. So, you see there Rajas, Tamas and Sattva, all three of them. Now, you see little spiritual side of this entire thing. Tamas is not as a big problem as Rajas. Understand this. Rajas is a bigger problem for us. Why? Because Rajas has so much of energy that if it is not directed at the right destination or towards the right altar, it will create havoc in the entire world. Problem are not tamasic people for the world. Those who sleep in the room, don't want to do anything, those are not the problems. Problem creating people are those who want to do something but have not got a good goal, and therefore they start to go on the wrong path. Imagine if you are bad, but you are so lazy that you don't even want to do that bad. Good only. Isn't it? I have ideas how I can bring that person down, but why? Unnecessarily I have to get up and too much of effort I have to put. Jao, chhod diya maine tumko. This laziness becomes a boon in such cases. Ravana is not like that. Ravana is proactive in doing wrong things. Rajas is a bigger problem, I am telling. See, when you sit for meditation, when you are trying to meditate, if you fall asleep, not a big problem. Why? Because when you get up, you can focus. But if your mind becomes distracted, it's very difficult to make it calm. And that's why these proactive people know they can't even sleep properly. Forget about meditation. They can't even sleep properly. Why? So much of rajas, so much of activity. I want to do. So Ravana is a bigger problem. And you see, Ravana is a combination. He has got what we can say as the best genes from both sides. See, we can see in Kumbakarna and Vibhishana very clearly. Kumbakarna has got genes of his mother. Vibhishana has got genes of his father. Very clear. Ravana has got both. Now that becomes a problem. Why? Because on one side, he is great devotee of Shivji. That's what people think, and that we know. But at the same time, he goes to Shivji and tries to show his power to Shivji. Now, what kind of devotee does that, you tell me? You know the story when he went to Shivji and said that I can lift the entire Kailash. You can, but why? Bhagavan is sitting there nicely, your Ishta Devata is sitting there. Why you want to do that? No, I want to show my power. To whom? To the one who has given you power. You want to show? Okay, show. So, he tried to lift the entire Kailash. And we know what Shivji did. Just with a toe, he just pressed it little bit. And Kailasa came down and Ravana was caught there. You must have seen, these kind of sculptures are very famous. If you see in all the, old temples, etc., ancient temples, if you see famous Ellora caves, or even if you go to Karnataka and Hampi and all these places, this is one of the favorite sculpture of all of them. Because Ravana with 10 heads trying to lift Kailasa and then Bhagavan is sitting there. Super. But you see, that it's a kind of conflicting. He was a great scholar of Vedas. Okay, they say all 4 Vedas were memorized. But he did not allow anybody else to chant Vedas. Anybody is doing Yajna, Yaga, etc., he used to destroy that. See, this kind of conflicting. So, I know everything, but I don't want other people to have that. That arrogance will destroy even the knowledge. Overpowering. That arrogance is overpowering the knowledge part. Therefore, we do agree that he was a scholar. But you tell me what kind of scholar we need. Do we need arrogant scholar? We always say scholar means that person has got information. But wisdom is not there. Why? Because wisdom will make a person humble. Vidya dadati vinayam. If the person is arrogant of the knowledge, then that is not knowledge, that is information. A wise person will say, yes, you are right. Will not have any conflict, will not show off. So, though we say Ravana was a great scholar, but that means he had a lot of information. Doesn't mean he was wise. There is a huge difference. And another thing, because of that arrogance, because he can do everything, he used to do everything. He will go to some place, I don't know. See, nowadays, I feel like you people will know the story, but you people don't know many of the stories. You know how he got Lanka? Shivji stays in Kailas. And we earlier in the story of Ganesha we saw, Shivji's neighbor is Kubera. And Kubera is god of wealth. So after he was humiliated and he was shown his place, Ganesha went and ate everything, you remember? So then he had some good feelings towards Shivji, saying that this is a good person. So he built entire palace of gold and he gifted it to Shivji. Entire palace of gold. Now Parvati was very happy that after her previous house which didn't have roof, now suddenly she is going to get a house which is made up of gold. So Shivji said, it doesn't matter to me. What is there? Here, there, it is same only Vairagi, he doesn't care about. So Shivji was going, so they said, Griha Pravesha should be done. Before you enter the house, puja should be done by a priest. Who will do the puja? So Shivji called Ravana. Brahmana Putra, okay? He is a Rishi Putra. So he called Ravana to become the main priest for doing Griha Pravesha. And Ravana came, Shiva Bhakta. Mind you, Shiva Bhakta, why he is? Why Ravana is Shiva Bhakta? Narada Moha Prasanga, 2 Shiva Bhaktas. Naradji cursed, you will be reborn. Ravana is one of them. Kumbakarna is another one. So they have Shiva Bhakti back from that previous Janma itself. Remember Naradji? Those two making fun. So Ravana had that Shiva Bhakti from before. So he came there. He did the entire puja, everything happened. So when all the puja etc. was done, now Shivji said as a tradition, Dakshina should be given, Dana should be given to Brahmana. So he asked, what do you want? He said, I want this palace. That is how he got Lanka. That Lanka, that golden palace was given by Kubera to Shivji. And he went there as a Brahmana to do puja. He said, I want this. Shivji said, Tatastu. Went back to Kailas. Parvati is like, what is this? I thought I am going to get the palace now. Nothing. He likes living like this only. Then Ravana went to Kubera. Kubera is his cousin brother. Ravana's cousin brother. From the mother side. There is a connection. So he went to Kubera and he said, you gave that big palace. You never gave anything to me. So he said, no, I gave it out of goodwill. I liked that Shivji and is my neighbor, therefore I gave. He said, no, but anyways now I have come, I have to take something. So he took Pushpaka Viman. That Pushpaka Vimana was not Ravana's. It was taken from Kubera. He was a thief, I tell you. A glorified thief, but a thief. So anytime you hear such stories where they say Ravana was a great person and Shrirama did injustice, nonsense all these things are, I am telling you. He was a terrible person. Who goes as a pujari and asks for the house where you did Gura Pravesha? What kind of person is this? I tell you. So Ravana was like that. He had, see, as I said, nothing wrong with him. Genes are conflicting. What can you do? Goodness will come once in a while, but then overpowering bad qualities are there. So that was Ravana. So thus we had Ravana, Kumbakarna, Vibhishana, 3 depicting Rajas, Tamas and Sattva respectively, and all of them asked for Vardhana from Brahmaji and they got their boons. Now after Brahmaji's boon, to Ravana became even more deadly. He started to, attack everyone. Devatas, Indra was attacked and Devatas were all roaming everywhere other than Swarga. They were thrown out of Swarga and every place on the earth he created problems. So it is said that Bhumi Devi, earth, feels burdened when there are bad people. She is not burdened by number of people. But when there are bad people, she feels lot of burden. So she went to Brahmaji and said, you are responsible for all this. You always give boons and then I have to suffer. Now you see what kind of people are living on earth. So you do something. So they said, I see, my job is giving boon. Doing something is other person's job. So let us go. So they started to discuss where should we go, because nowadays he is not there in Vaikuntha. Where is he? No idea. So they all went to Shivji and they said, Shivji, please tell, where is he? So very beautiful Chopai and very beautiful Doha is there. 184, after 184 Doha. He says, Shivji says, Hari Vyapaka Sarvatra Samana Premate Prakata Hohi Me Jana Desha Kala Disi Bidisi Hu Mahi Kahu So Kaha Jahan Prabhu Nahi Aga Jagamaya Sab Rahita Biragi Premate Prabhu Prakatai Jimi Agi Mora Bachana Sab Ke Manamana Sadhu Sadhu Kari Brahma Bhakhana. Shivji is telling Parvati ji that I was also part of the discussion, and when they asked me, where is Vishnu Bhagavan? So he said, Hari Vyapaka Sarvatra Samana. Bhagavan Vishnu is Vyapaka. He is all pervasive. Sarvatra, everywhere. Samana, in same measure. Don't think that in temple Vishnu Bhagavan is there 100% and other places he is just there 70%. No. There is no percentage. Satchitananda doesn't have percentage. In every single place, Bhagavan is there, that Brahman is there in full measure. Prema te prakata hohi main jana. But I have understood that he becomes manifest when there is love. So Earth said, we asked you technical question. Where is Vishnu? You are giving us philosophical answer. Why can't you simply say, go there, there is Vishnu? I am asking you, where should we find Vishnu? You are telling he is everywhere. So Shivji said, Desha Kala, this is Vidishyuma, in every Desha, Kala, Vastu, in everything Bhagavan is there. Kahu so kaha jaha Prabhu nahi. You tell me a place where he is not there. But that doesn't answer my question yet. Are, I am telling, even here, at this very moment, you remember Bhagavan with your heart, Bhagavan will appear. You don't have to go to Vaikuntha to meet him. And then what? Mora bachana sabake manamana. Shivji says, my vachana, my words, everybody liked. And sadhu sadhu kari brahma bakana. And everybody started to say, very good, very good, very good. Brahmaji also said. So Brahmaji decided that now that Shivji has told, we should remember Bhagavan so that Bhagavan will appear in front of us. Okay. So what did Brahmaji say? That we will see in the next session. Very beautiful Brahma Stuti is there. Brahmaji is glorifying Bhagavan, which culminates into Bhagavan's avatar also. Okay. So after Doha number 185, that Jaya Jaya Suranayaka Jana Sukhadayaka Pranatapala Bhagavanta. From there, Brahmaji Stuti starts, which will culminate into Bhagavan taking avatar, which we will see next session. Veera Maruti Gambhira Maruti
Veera Maruti Gambhira Maruti
Veera Maruti Ati Dhira Maruti
Dhira Maruti Ati Dhira Maruti
Gita Maruti Sangita Maruti
Gita Maruti Sangita Maruti
Duta Maruti Rama Duta Maruti
Duta Maruti Rama Duta Maruti
Bhakta Maruti Parama Bhakta Maruti
Bhakta Maruti Parama Bhakta Maruti
Veera Maruti Gambhira Maruti
Veera Maruti Gambhira Maruti
Gambhira Maruti
Gambhira Maruti
Gambhira Maruti
Gambhira Maruti
सियावर रामचंद्र की
जय
पवन सुत हनुमान की
जय
उमापति महादेव की
जय
बोलो भाई सब संतन की
जय
श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की
जय
ओम पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम।